Hello again. This is Mandy, the 10th Lord of Time's Mun, coming to you semi-live and extremely nervous because I just reached 1,000 followers. Or, well, 999. Whoever you were, goodbye. I can't really believe that the blog has come this far. Uh, I'm still sort of convinced that most of you are lost. But all the same, thank you for being here with me on this little adventure. Um, I sort of thought I would have like 10 people, and nowhere near this amount. So, very, very cool, very exciting. I did get a bunch of questions. First of all, I'd just like to say that I realize this video is lagging a little bit probably, and you may see me kind of looking over here. That's because, as some of you know, my computer screen got busted recently, and so I've got my laptop hooked up to a monitor, and it's all very awkward and sad. But, so yes, I did get questions. Thank you very much to everybody who sent them in. The first, oh, good lord. This is a problem. This whole little screen setup is a problem. But okay, the first questions came from The Greatest Adventures Lion Books. Thanks so much for getting those in, and it's been a lot of fun role-playing with you. I already love Kat, she's great. Why did you choose the 10th Doctor to RP and not a different regeneration? Well, 10 was my doctor. He was my first. My very first episode was an 11 episode. It was the Let's Kill Hitler episode. I study World War II and stuff like that, so my friend thought that I would like that, and it is a good episode, but 10 was the one who really got my attention, and he's the one that I connect with the most. I have tried to play 11 before. I'm not very good at it, and I'm too intimidated to even try 9, so I just don't go there. But I like huge props to the role players of 9 and 11, because yeah, I couldn't do it, but I love them too. As far as the classic Doctors, I've seen 8's movie, and he's awesome, and what I've seen of the others I've liked a lot, and I know I'm gonna love them all. But I just haven't had a chance to get to Classic Who yet, which is really depressing, but I work a lot, sadly. As many of you may have noticed, with my posts kind of dwindling away to nothing. Sad face. So yeah, I think in some ways I identify with 10 the most. I love his sort of idealism and his vulnerability. It's been said by some that he was sort of the most human of the Doctors, and in some ways I think that that's true. I think he was the one that most wanted to be human, because he was still struggling with losing everyone and everything that he had known, and I think that he wanted to connect with humanity in a way that even the other Doctors, as much as they loved Earth, never did, because he was seeking a family that he couldn't have anymore. And I just love him for that, and I love playing that aspect of it. So yeah, that's why I picked 10. Also, David Tennant, come on. He's awesome, and he's very, very pretty. What got you started watching Doctor Who? Well, 2 of my best friends told me time and time again that I had to start watching it, and I didn't believe them for the longest time. And then I was on Tumblr, and half my dash was about Doctor Who, and I finally decided, I guess I need to figure out what this is. So yeah, I remember my friend who loves 9, like 9 was her first Doctor, and she was telling me, you have to start with 9, you have to start with 9, and I remember just being like, look, I'm tired, and I work a lot, and I just want to look at David Tennant because he's pretty, leave me alone. But I did go back and watch 9, and I absolutely adore him too, so I love them all. Excited for Capaldi. God, yes! I cannot wait for Capaldi. Like, I've seen a little bit of trash talk, and I don't think it could be more wrong. I think he's going to do a fantastic job. I love the interactions that he's had with the fans already. He's got a lot of respect for the fandom, and I think that's fantastic. And he's an amazing actor, and I trust him absolutely with the Doctor. I think he's going to do great, and I'm really excited for the premiere. So thank you very much for those. Let's see, who's next? Legs, yes. Hi, Hallie. What's the thing that you love the most about video games and why? Or just IDK talk about video games. Thanks. What I love most about video games, well, I really like the ones like Skyrim and Assassin's Creed and Fallout, where it's like total immersion. Dragon Age 2, where you kind of have a home base and you have your friends and it's this whole life over years and years. That's my favorite aspect of games, is just the rich story and the immersion. I do play some run and gun games, but I don't get as much out of them generally. I love the really deep stories. So thank you for that. I don't know what else to talk about in video games. Right now I'm really into the Batman games again. I'm about to start Origins, and I'm really excited about that. I'm a little behind. Blues and Point Shoes. My baby! You changed your name and I got so confused for a while there. But, so yeah, that's Tabitha Munn. My canon ship. I love her. What made you pick the 10th Doctor in particular as character you wanted to RP? I already got that one, so sorry. There you go. Top 5 favorite Doctor Who episodes. Oh, don't make me choose. Honestly, I've been thinking about it and I couldn't narrow it down to 5. So you get 6. You get 6. I did okay. Don't judge me. One of my all-time favorites is Midnight. I think it reveals a side of the Doctor that we don't normally get to see, where he is not in control. And I think that's really interesting for his character development, and it was a really tense episode. I loved that without really any special effects, without any makeup or anything, they managed to make one of their most sinister villains. Something that you couldn't see, something that played on your fears, and I absolutely love Midnight. The Doctor's daughter, so many feels. I really want them to bring Jenny back. I think it's hilarious that she is the Doctor's daughter and played the Doctor's daughter and then had the Doctor's daughter and all kinds of other things. Georgia is awesome. The Satan Pit is another one. Both of those, the Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit, really, really interesting and really tense. Loved those episodes. And that was probably the most I ever shipped Ten and Rose. Their little scene when he thought that he was stuck and they were going to be stuck together. I was like, oh, my babies. The Beast Below was the first episode where I really, really loved 11 for the first time. It was like, okay, it's gonna be okay. I can't have David anymore, but it's still gonna be okay. I think just about everybody loves the Vincent Van Gogh app. If you don't, you're wrong. The last one is Rings of Akaten. That speech in that episode from 11 is absolutely incredible. It makes me cry more than Angels Take Manhattan, because he's just pouring out his soul, and you get this picture of what he's been through, and it's just outstanding. I think that's probably, for me, that was Matt Smith's best performance, was that one. Incredible episode. So thank you for that question. And let's see. What else have we got? Of Circus Silks and Tea. Hey, baby. You finally got your questions in. I'm so proud. We all know each companion is different and each one brings something new to the Doctor's adventures. Who's your favorite? What did they bring to the table and how do you think it changed him? Well, a lot of you probably already know that my favorite companion is Martha. I just absolutely love her. She's my baby. A lot of you know, I play her over on my other blog, Martha Jones Became a Legend. Shameless plug. She is, I think that her great strength was that she really was independent and she really didn't need the Doctor. She already knew where she was going in life and she knew what she wanted. And if anything, she was one of the characters that I think her disposition and her life suffered a lot more than the others for being involved with him. She sacrificed a lot to travel with the Doctor, and she kind of became a different person by the end of it. But I think that what it changed in him was that he got to see that he did have the power to hurt people, and I think that that was something he already knew. But I think on some level it kind of took him down a peg and made him realize that he needed to be more careful. I'm actually really proud of Martha and the way that she matured and the way that she changed by the end. But I think that he kind of saw in her this reflection of what he did to people, ordinary people, when he took them with him. And I think it gave him a deeper understanding of what his responsibilities were. I've seen it said a lot of times that it was some kind of weakness or pushiness on her part that she fell for him and that she was upset that he didn't love her back. But I think if we're being honest with ourselves, we've all been in that situation. And honestly, I have definitely been in that situation. I think it was one of the reasons I identified with Martha most, is that unrequited love, worst case scenario. I don't think that she expected him to love her, but I think sometimes the lack of respect, because he was so in his own head and he was so hung up still on Rose, I think that was more what she was going after him about than just that he didn't like her the way that she liked him. I don't think it was ever anything so petty. So yeah, I believe that she really was a strong character and she did the best she could with what she was given. Of all of them, she had a pretty rough run. She didn't have a lot of the really good times like some of them did. But I think that she still managed to learn from it and grow and really become somebody who could keep up with the Doctor and could give him a run for his money. And I really loved her for that. Favorite candy, favorite food in general. I like chocolate. I like chocolate a lot. I also like those little peach rings, the little gummy peach rings. Those are yummy. Favorite food in general, I like sushi. This is a question I've gotten a bunch of times, and I think I've pretty much always said sushi. There's this one particular type, it's really weird. I've seen it called tomiko, but it's a seaweed wrap with flying fish roe and a raw quail egg, and like a little tiny wedge of lemon. It's the strangest thing I've ever been fed, but it actually ended up probably being my favorite, and I don't know why. To this day, I don't know why. But, so yeah, there's the answer to that. Thanks for getting those in. Let's see here. Next questions are from Impossouffle Girl. I love your URL, I really do, it's so fun to say. Got lots of questions from you. Thank you very much, baby. What is your favorite aspect of role-playing the Doctor? I love the mix of comedy and tragedy. He's got a really fun range to work with. He's a very strong character in some ways, but in other ways he's extremely vulnerable, and so you really get to do just about everything with him. What's the hardest part of keeping your muse intact? Oof. So many things. He's probably the one that I'm most self-conscious about. I'm always afraid I'm doing it wrong. Um, but I think the hardest thing is making him rude enough. I tend to make him a little bit too nice, because that's just the way I like to roleplay, but, sometimes I try to, like, pull back and say, would he really say that? Another thing is when I watch too many 11 episodes. As bad as I am at actually trying to play 11, 11 will start sneaking into 10, and I have to go watch more 10 episodes. Is there any one thing that inspires you more than the rest? I think his worries about losing people is probably what makes me feel closest to him. Because that is something that I've dealt with in my life, and it's something that I can relate to. I also really love playing him as the last of his kind, which is why most of my verses are not up to canon now, are not canon up to the 50th, just because I really enjoy playing what that did to him, which sounds awful, and I'm pretty sure he hates me for it. But 'tis the truth. I do like some angst, but I also think it made him grow and change as a person, and I think that was really valuable to his character in a lot of ways. What characters do you find yourself most drawn to plot with? Really anybody and everybody, but I think, of course, I'm always looking for Martha's, because it's my OTP. I really like Clara's and Donna's. And I would love a Jack, but I can't seem to keep one, and I'm not sure why. But I would really like a Captain Jack Harkness, too. Let's see. Is there a plot you'd really like to do, but haven't had the occasion to yet? I would love to kind of combine a romantic pairing in Doctor Who. Martha would be my preference, but with the idea of the time traveler's wife, where he fell in love with a human that she knew she was going to die eventually, and so she set aside these dates, and when she was about to die, she gave him a list of the dates when he could go back, and she had set aside time for him where he could go and be with her again after she had died, and slowly used up all of the dates and still had to carry on. I think that would be really, really cool and interesting, and it would be fun to watch him look for loopholes. Let's see. What drew you to the Doctor, this incarnation especially? I've answered that one. What drew me to the Doctor, I just love the character. I don't have a more philosophical answer than that, I guess. How long have you roleplayed on Tumblr? Since the start of this blog, which was in, I want to say, April? I think it was April, was when I really got things up and running. And that was, the next question is, had you roleplayed on Tumblr before, or was this your first experience? This was my first experience role-playing at all. The Doctor, I had played around with it a little bit. My best friend, Brittany, she plays Dean Winchester, Whiskey Bent Rambler, and Gunpowder and Steel Horses. She's been at it for years and years and years, and she really wanted me to get into it. I was already a fanfic writer, and she was the one who coaxed me to do this. And we had a few role-playing sessions with other characters before, but this was the first time that I had publicly roleplayed, was 10. He is my very first actual character. And so that answers, if you've roleplayed on Tumblr before, what was your first character? How long have you roleplayed? Roleplayed all told, so yeah, this is it. Except for the characters that I've made since then. 10 was my very first. I'm still pretty new at this, which is why I was astounded by how well this blog has taken off, and I'm just really overjoyed, and it's really awesome. So thanks, guys, for making my first experience really memorable and cool. Do you do other forms of roleplay, tabletop, LARPing, etc.? I'm really interested in playing, like, tabletop. I've got some friends who play Dungeons and Dragons, but they don't have a DM right now. If they can get their stuff together, I do intend to play with them, so we'll see. LARPing, I would love to LARP, live-action role-playing. Sadly, I can't find a really good group for it in this area. I've tried out one, and there's not a whole lot of options. That one just didn't really work for me. But one day, yeah, I would totally love to go LARPing. Have you ever done a cosplay for 10 or any other characters? I have not cosplayed. I own one cosplay costume because I was supposed to go to a con last year. It's one of the Kingdom Hearts Organization 13 robes. And I'm very happy that I have that, but I didn't end up actually getting to use it. So hopefully one day. What would you cosplay if you had no limitations? I've actually, for a really long time, I've been wanting to do a Fallout roleplay, like make a Lone Wanderer and do a really, really serious attempt at it. I would also really like to play Harley Quinn from Batman. I love the Joker and Harley. They're awesome. So I think that is all the questions. Thank you guys so much for sending those, and I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun answering them, and thank you so much for following me. I still cannot believe it. Like, I can't stop saying it. 1,000 followers. It has been a huge honor and a whole lot of fun, and I hope that this blog continues on and on for quite a while longer. So thanks for making that possible. And one more thing before I go. I have something really cool that I've been meaning to show you guys for a while, just because I'm very excited about it. It was my college graduation present to me. It is actually the 10th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. This is the replica that was actually taken from David Tennant's set prop. It's also the one that's a universal remote. It controls my TV, and it does all the sounds and stuff. I will try to demonstrate that for you now. I'm still kind of crappy at using the FX mode, but so here's your standard what have you, whatever his standard sound is. And here are its different settings. I'm trying to do the spinny one. It's not working as well. As it happens, I picked the hardest one to do to control my volume on my TV. I really should think about that. But yes, so this is my sonic screwdriver, and I just freaking love it. It's my baby. So anyway, that is that. And thank you so much for tuning in and for putting up with me and following me. And so yeah, awkward goodbye is awkward. Have a nice day.